Hello there and welcome to The Weekender. In this week's show, we're talking Orktober awesomeness, stunning StarCraft, nonsensically good Napoleonics, and much more. We also have some ace fantasy exploits and a tease for something coming soon. Plus, you have a chance to win a £50 voucher thanks to Wayland Games. Simply comment on YouTube or on Tabletop for a chance to win. Without further ado, The Weekend starts now. Hello there, folks, and welcome to The Weekender. I am joined this week by the wonderful Justin. Hello, Justin. And the very ill, plague-ridden John. Hello, John.
Papa Nurgle has come to visit.
And this is how the world ended. But at least it ended in the best month, because we are in, of course, in October, which is my birthday month. But also it's Orktober, and everybody loves Orktober because loads of people do amazing things in October. Maybe we'll see some things about that in a wee second. But yes, how are folks been? Okay, yes, good week. Yeah,
doing good. You know, I'm still annoyed that all the Christmas stuff is out.
Ugh.
Let me have spooky season before you give me Christmas season.
Ugh.
Yeah, I went shopping and there was a Halloween section that was like a set of shelves, and then right beside it was tinsel, and I was like,
wow.
Yeah, the marketing for the world has gone a little bit mad.
Yeah. You just fill those trick-or-treat bowls with tinsel and all sorts of things like that and be like, I'm just preparing you for the next season that's coming up. So,
but you see, eventually it's going to amalgamate and conform together and become Hallowistmas.
Hallowistmas. Oh my God. That actually sounds like a really good holiday. Hallowistmas.
It's just Gothic Santa.
Gothic Santa, yeah. Oh my God.
Or you could do Christoween.
Yeah. Somewhere Elvira is loving that. But yes, welcome to the show. We've got lots and lots to dive into. So without further ado, let's get straight into the news.
Coming to you from the center of Northwestern Europe. Covering board games, war games, card games, and all that you love. It's the news.
Okie dokie, folks. So we're here with the news, and we're starting off with something that is Orktober related.
Yay!
From the folks at Kromlech. What have they been up to then, Justin?
Well, the folks at Kromlech always do Orktober, and they always make something wonderful and wacky and zany. And this year, it's the Orc Rocker Boys. Now, I'm going to say it. They've missed a trick here.
What? Why have they missed a trick? Huh?
There's only 10. There should be 11. It should go to 11.
Oh my God! Yes, this should. That is very true.
Hey, Kromlech, sorry, I know I'm calling you out here, guys, but do better.
I think sneaking an extra orc into the packages would be easy enough to do. They should do that now. I'm going to send an email to Kromlech. Actually,
you have missed a rocker trick or a rocker joke, but they are absolutely fan-dabby-dozy looking.
Yes.
So we have a mixture of gun, guitar armed orcs.
Yes.
We have our drummer in there. We have one guy rocking the big big devil horns.
Mm-hmm.
We also get the groupie goblins,
who
are quite lovely.
I think they're better than the Rocker Boys in many ways.
And you want to know the funny thing?
Yeah.
There are 11 of them.
Oh yeah, of course, because there's the bouncer is in there as well. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
but really loving the designs. It's very like 90s sort of grunge metal looking, and I'm digging that. And the groupies, I think my favorite is the one with the megaphone. They just have to let the lead singer know how much they love them.
Yes, very true. Yeah. One of the things I really liked about this kit is that it's immediately going to invite you to add even more colour to your already colourful orcs, because you've got all that crazy hair that they've got going on and all that kind of thing, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Go full Def Leppard.
Yeah. This means you could also do an entire army of goth rockers now. There's no reason for you not to do that. So why would you stop at just a group, a single squad? So
yeah. Well, I mean, we've got our guitarists, we've got our drummers in there, we've got our pyro in there. Yeah. We've got a couple of them that look like they've got boomboxes up on their shoulders.
They do have boomboxes.
That might be something else.
Yeah. I like to think that they're boomboxes in the case that they actually are just filled with explosives. So
That's it.
that would
They
be the
were
Orky way.
stereos.
Yes. Stolen from
Unfortunately-
some poor guardsman somewhere. Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the orc belief tax system,
Yes.
skadoosh.
Terrible.
But as well as the main miniatures, you are able to get the guitars and the heads separately, I believe. So
Yes.
if you just want to take some of your regular orcs and, rocker them up a little bit, you can go and do that as well. So again, a really nice offering. Kromlech never disappoint when it comes to Orktober.
Very
And
true.
well done.
And the nice thing about this is just wave 1 of this stuff as well. So they've been talking about the fact that they're going to be throwing in a whole bunch of extra stuff over the rest of the course of the month too. So if you like this theme, then definitely go for it. They tend to go for like one big theme every year. So last year it was kind of like mechanized orcs. And this time around it's obviously going to be the rockers. So very nice indeed. And all lovely resin. So finding detailed stuff.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Also, orcs with beards. You don't see enough of that. Orcs with
No,
beards.
you don't. Yeah. Although I would also say, while a lot of people will be looking at that and thinking about dropping them into Warhammer 40,000, there are loads of other very good orc games out there. So there's Space Skits, which we looked at a couple of months ago, which is that really funny one where you have to balance the dice and things like that, move them around with your models because they get drunk, which would be fitting. And then there's also Modulorca as well, which is another really great sort of spiritual successor to Gorkamorka. So lots of fun options for you on that front. Very cool.
I know it's silly, but I wish there had been one that was like a lead singer and just done as a tribute to Ozzy.
But there might
But
be. Who knows?
It's maybe too soon for that.
Yeah. Gotta love him. Biting the head off a squig. So, yeah.
It would have to be a grot with the bat wings tied on as like a crappy canvas.
Oh, just
Maybe.
a Doom Diver.
Yeah, just a Doom Diver.
basically a Doom Diver.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Very cool.
And you do them to be like the size of Gazgul.
Yes. Oh yeah, that'd be great. With a big throne as well. Anyway. Kromlech, take notes. Moving on from that, we're diving into the realms of fantasy and folklore because the folks at Crooked Dice have put together a brand new feature pack for use with their game 7. Not seen that. Is a really fun sort of TV show based game where you dive in and you play out sort of TV episodes on the tabletop. And this one is tied very much into Robin of Sherwood, if anybody remembers that amazing version of the Robin Hood tales from back in the day. You can get a whole bunch of different options for this. So there's a variety of ways for you to dive in. You can get just the feature pack, as you can see there. So it's the one that comes with just the rules in that pack. So you get the rule book in there alongside all of the cards and the accessories and all that kind of thing, which is quite nice. So a nice little way for you to dive in and get your hands on all of that. If you'd like some miniatures to go alongside it, then there's a couple of options on that front as well. So you have the Wolf's Head bundle, which comes with all of their previously released miniatures that they've already had out for quite a while, actually. So you get a set that contains Robin, Marion, Little John, Tuck, Much, Will Scarlet, the Moor, and the mysterious Herd of the Woods with the Arrow of the Hunter. Dun, dun, dun. So if you're looking for some weirdos to throw into your woodlands, you've got some options on that front too. So very nice. And comes with the feature pack as well. If you wanted to go down the villain route, because you maybe didn't pick those up in the past, there's also that bundle, which comes with the Sheriff, Gisborne, Bishop Odo, Baron, Demalius, Grangrol, and the Norman Chest Bearers. So if you're looking for some options to throw into your games as nefarious villains, you've got that to play around with too. You've even got those Norman chest bearers there, so that's something for you to rob as they're running through the woods, trying to make it to the castle in time, and pretty much all of the characters that you'd ever need for running all those different scenarios and things, which I think is quite nice. Very much reminds me, as I've said before, probably when I've talked about Robin Hood, of the BBC series that they did not too long ago, where in the first couple of series, I'm fairly sure all of the bad guys were just wearing bin bags because they couldn't afford to give them real chainmail or fake chainmail. Wow.
See, here's the thing, though, Ben. For this, whenever I think of doing a Robin Hood tabletop game, yes, you can do it, the more serious route. I'd prefer to do this more like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
You could easily do that.
Have the silliness.
Yeah. I mean, last week we looked at Sally Forth, who do those amazing Robin Hood miniatures in the XLBS when we did Indie of the Week. So if you're looking for some really fun Men in Tights-esque versions of those characters, there's loads for you to choose from in that vein, and you could easily just drop them in here because the guys at Crooked Dice don't care what miniatures you use for their game, which is always nice. There's also the big battle bundle, as you can see there, which contains all of the good guys and all of the bad guys, depending on your point of view, I suppose. Maybe you do support the sheriff.
Wanted poster.
And a free wanted poster, yes. So if you do any of the pre-orders for this, you're going to be able to get yourself that lovely free wanted poster as well. I will note, if you are at Partisan this weekend, so on Sunday, I believe you can pre-order for that event. So make sure to go and check over on the website to see if you've still got time to do that, because it is Friday at this point. So have a look, see what you think. And if you are going to Partisan, you can get your hands on that before anybody else would think it's really cool. So yeah, very nice stuff on that front.
Question then, Ben.
Question.
Are there any shows that they don't currently do that you think would be perfect to fold into 7TV?
Well, they do Captain Scarlet, and that's the best show. They don't currently do Thunderbirds. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm not sure how you would do Thunderbirds though.
Very true, because they don't tend to actually. Sets. Yeah, it's more of the big vehicles and stuff, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah.
So it would be more objective based to where you're going to do a rescue on the set.
I was going to say something like Thundercats, but they do them. I can't remember if they do He-Man. Maybe.
Well,
oh, God.
Here's what I'm thinking. Old 90s, 80s cartoons, so do something like Biker Mice from Mars could be very fun. Biker Mice from Mars would be really good. Yes. Yeah. Oh. The only kids' cartoon that got away with saying mofos on TV.
Oh, there you go. They do, if anyone has heard of this, it's probably quite a deep cut. If anyone's heard of Danger 5, they do a range of miniatures for that. I won't say their catchphrase, but it's very good. Make sure to go and check that out.
I think they're missing a trick with the old school cartoons being brought into it.
Oh yeah. It's amazing stuff that the guys at Crooked Dice do, and it's just getting better and better. It's always nice to see that. Moving away from fantasy folklore television, we're going back to the realms of sci-fi because the folks at Archon have been teasing a little bit extra stuff for their StarCraft tabletop miniatures game. The game that nearly was, but that never was, is going to become something. Oh my God. What are they up to, John?
You've said most of the information that we already have. So.
Yeah. So what is this? Schrodinger's war game?
This is like the game that should have been. Mm-hmm. It really should have been a long time ago. They have managed to get through the security at Blizzard and have managed to get some playtesting done in the Blizzard studios.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Which, again, I find hilarious, given that I've been a long-term Warcraft player and I've seen everything that has went on behind these doors and heard about it. But StarCraft is a massively beloved franchise, and if you're not into StarCraft, well, just remember it could have been a 40k game.
It could have been.
It could have been. If certain licenses hadn't been ham-fistedly badly handled, we might have had Dawn of War before there was Dawn of War.
Exactly, yeah, very true.
That's it, and it might have been a massive e-gaming success, but clearly not. But we are getting a look at some of the tables. We're getting a look at some of the miniatures in there. Obviously, it's Zerg and
the Terrans. Yeah,
the Terrans. Yeah, there we go. I keep forgetting. It's such a simple name, but I can't remember it half the time.
What kind of variant on Earth are they?
Yeah. But it looks like it's going to be kind of based on this image alone. It's sort of like a small skirmish.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about that.
See, I think that's actually quite a nice level to come in because it kind of matches up to the sort of small skirmishes that you get at the beginning of a game of StarCraft when it's actually fun, when you're moving around your units, getting into those little fights over control zones and that kind of stuff before it all sort of goes into crazy spam territory where everyone just sends loads of crazy stuff at you.
Hell with that, Zergling Rush.
You're the problem, Justin. But I really like what they've been doing with the figures and stuff. They look really nice. Obviously, everything's still in the prototype stage.
Prototype,
yes. Protoss type.
Not yet.
I really like the look of all the different figures. I think they've done a really nice job on them. I think what's quite good about it as well is that clearly this is Archon flexing because they've done so good on the whole kind of plastic front over the last couple of years. They're going, well, we're going to absolutely nail this IP now. and do something really fun with it. Obviously, they've done that in the past with the likes of He-Man and things, as we mentioned before. But yeah, some really nice stuff, and it shows that there's some progress going on in the background for this game as well, which is cool.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Although, if there's like event cards or anything in it, there is one that has to be in there, and I will be very disappointed if it's not.
Oh.
You must construct additional pylons.
Of course. You'd think the meme would be in there at some point, which is quite...
I mean, it's an older one, but it checks out.
It checks out.
If the Protoss aren't in it yet, we ain't getting no pylons. So.
Yeah, fair.
I also quite like the fact that they're doing terrain for it as well, from the looks of it too.
Yeah.
So you get in not just... I would assume that's probably going to be near enough to the contents of whatever starter box they do. You're looking like you're getting a fair amount of Zerg, lots of Terra Marines, some really nice terrain as well. And it plays on a fairly small table size as well, which is a nice addition to that. So
I am left to wonder: are we just going to be seeing infantry, or are any of the vehicles going to come into it?
Possibly. It depends how big they want to go game wise. Because if they're only looking at it being sort of, as a lot of people call it, like mass skirmish now, then maybe not. Maybe we'll get like a couple of transport options or something in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But,
if they can make it scale. If the game can scale up and start removing some of what we see at the minute in some of these images with the amount of tokens and stuff that are sitting around, if they can streamline it to have less of that to allow it to scale up, might be the way to go.
Yeah. But yeah, looking very nice. They did say that they've been doing a lot of the playtesting and they've been told sort of what works and what doesn't and that kind of thing as well. But, we know that Archon do amazing plastics. It'll just come down to whether or not they can nail the gameplay side of things. Yeah. And the amount of time they've spent developing this, it's about time that it actually comes out and is cool. There's another meme for you, kids. Yeah. So yes, some nice stuff on the frontier there, and make sure to go and check out their social media and stuff, because they do post a lot of stuff over on Facebook as they dive into the development of it all, and there's blogs and all sorts of things like that as well. So yeah, nice stuff on that front. Ooh, cool. I have some very StarCrafty friends who are probably going to buy the hell out of that. So there we go. I don't have to bother. They will do it all for me. So
until you get shanghaied into painting it with them.
Until I get shanghaied into painting it all. Don't worry. I'll just do the Zerg. I can just do all of that with contrast and speed paint. That'll be done in a night. Slap chop all the way.
I want characters.
Oh yes, it's going to be so good to see the characters.
Oh, get the Queen of Blades.
Yeah. Maybe they'll actually release StarCraft Ghost. Who knows?
You never know.
It never came to computers, but there we go. Moving away from the news, we're going to dive into some Kickstarters now, and then we'll be back for more news in the future. But before that, let's check out what projects are available to check out right now.
Did you win one of our prizes? Find out on our prize claim center over at OnTableTop.com. Here we list all our previous prizes and those who have won. If you see your username, fill out the form to claim your prize. All prizes must be claimed within 30 days.
Hello there, folks. We're back for some Kickstarters. Ooh, what are we going to check out this week? Well, we have a little bit of fantasy and we have a little bit of historical. We're going to be starting off with the fantasy side of things. And I chose this because there's dwarves involved and they're delving deep. Maybe they've delved too deep. Oh no, a Balrog is coming after me. Whippy, whippy. No, but in this, we're looking at Torch and Shield Wave 2, The Vaults of Zarn. Can you tell that I've been role-playing recently? And this is a new expansion to Torch and Shield from the folks at Grimskald. So, we had a look at Torch and Shield. I think it was last year when they did their initial release for this game.
It was 2023, actually.
Was it 2023? Oh my God.
2023, yeah.
Time.
Feel old, Ben. Feel old.
Oh no. Insert Indiana Jones melting German dude.
Yes.
We also talked to them earlier this year at the UK Games Festival as well, where they were talking about what they had plans for Vaults of Zarn and things like that. But this is a brand new narrative supplement and expansion for the game. If anybody doesn't know Torch and Shield, the idea is that you play as warbands, crews of dwarven adventurers who are heading down into the depths of ancient dwarven holds in either competitive, cooperative, or solo adventures to try and get your hands on the treasures that lie deep within them, because they've been stolen by the monsters. Bad monsters, whippy whippy. As well as dealing with the other crews that are out there in the world. You'll also be going up against hazards, traps, and other things that dwell in the shadows, because the game has a very crunchy, intense skirmish feel to it. if you're very into the idea of cool, in-depth skirmishes, this is definitely a game for you. There's lots of things to do with movement and pushing and all types of weapon types and armor and that kind of thing as well. There's also a really nicely ingrained light and darkness mechanic for the game too, where as your sort of light starts to go out and the torches flicker, the monsters will sneak out of the corners to come and get you and all that kind of thing as well, which I think is quite nice. When you're diving into Vaults of Zarn, you're going to be exploring a whole host of brand new scenarios. I should say this entire campaign is available either digitally or physically. So if you want to get all of these in 3D print and print at home all the rules and that kind of thing, you can do. If you want to get it all done for you, they will also handle all of that, which is very nice. And so within Vaults of Zarn, you're going to get a whole bunch of extra stuff for sort of focusing on the Zarn clan themselves and sort of what was down within the depths of their hold. This also means that, as well as the dwarves, you're also going to be able to dive into playing with a whole bunch of other crews, warbands as well. So in the original Torch and Shield, they had the miniatures for the well-to-do dwarves, the dwarves that do things by the book, as you might imagine. When it comes to the Vaults of Zarn, you're going to be diving in and getting your hands on dwarves who have sort of gone against the grain. They've not filled out their form in triplicate, and they're sort of going down into these vaults with some nefarious villains and things alongside them. So you have the likes of the Craghelm clan dwarves in there, of Humies with them. You don't want to bring Humies down to the dark. I mean, for one, they can't see where they're going, which is pretty
they're
bad.
always banging their heads.
And they're banging their head all the time. I mean, it's a health and safety nightmare.
OSHA would not be pleased.
Exactly. But in addition to that, you've also got things like the Elves of the Abyssal Wood and the Ostari treasure hunters. So not only have the dwarves been able to find the Vaults of Zarn, but also those pesky bloody elves and some human knights at the same time too. So there's lots of nefarious foes and things for you to be fighting when you're down in the darkness of the Vaults of Zarn. In addition to that, all the rules for that, by the way, are going to be included as part of this book, which is quite cool. But you'll also get the likes of monster warbands and crews for you to play as well. So the Krell, who were previously released as just villains, monsters for you to use in Torch and Shield, are now available for you to play as a monster warband, which is pretty cool. And there's also the Cursed Clans. So if you're looking to play as the ghostly dwarves and the undead that were left down within the depths of the Vault of Zarn, you're going to be able to pick them up as well, which I think is very cool. So lots of different ways for you to go when it comes to expanding what's available for Torch and Shield. In addition to all of that, obviously there's lots of warbands and crews in there for you to do all your competitive stuff. There's also more in-depth rules for solo and co-op too, which I think is quite nice. So if you are looking to just play this with a friend and have some fun, you can do. Just battle against the monsters that dwell in the dark and share your riches equally. He's definitely going to live.
It's fine, he's got this.
Depends which one you're referring to. One of them is definitely going to live.
Yes, very true. The dog. The big bad dog. What's quite nice about the campaign as well is that, as well as throwing in all of the stuff for Vaults of Zarn, which John is sort of flicking through here and all that kind of thing, they've also been showing off a bunch of stuff for those people who are maybe new to the game as well. So if you haven't looked at Torch and Shield before, there's plenty of options for you to dive in. They've got a starter set that you can just get your hands on as part of the campaign, which is quite nice. So you could just go and pledge for that rather than just buying it through the website and things. There's also a free quick start rules that you can download. I think we looked at that a little bit earlier as well. So you can go and download that, see if the game's for you, which I think is a nice little touch. Always good to have quick start rules nowadays. I don't understand why games don't. Everything should have them. And then, of course, as I said, everything is available both digitally and physically. So depending on which way you want to go, there's lots of different options for you on that front. Grimskald doing amazing stuff. If you're looking for a tight, tactical, crunchy skirmish game, this is definitely for you. And if you're a fan of dwarves, even better. They even have some fun stuff waiting in the wings for sci-fi things too, so keep an eye out for that.
The skeleton dwarves are lovely.
Yes, they are. The Cursed Clans. They're very, very cool. Remind me very much of what Mantic did with Dungeon Saga, but sort of turned up to 11. Ooh, referencing that again. You are meant to play this through on dungeon tiles. If you have lots of stuff sitting around from D&D and things like that, just use that. But you can also get your hands on 3D printing files for that as well through the folks at Grimskald. So some options on that front too as well. And even nice things in there for retailers. which is always good. So yes, a lovely campaign filled with dwarven goodness.
Mhm.
Who wouldn't want to back that? That's what I say. So yeah, back it now,
Well,
or I'll hunt you down.
people who
So,
aren't fans of dwarves.
who isn't a fan of dwarves? Jeez.
I'm sure there's someone out there.
You're doing your best to channel Jerry the whole back it now, or I'll cut you.
Yeah, and I'll leave you in the vaults
Yeah.
of Zarn.
Well, Ben, you will never pull that off.
No. So, as well as the dwarves, we also have another campaign. Oh, I should say, 19 days left on that one from the time you're watching this, so go and check that out. We're moving to the realms of the historical with our next campaign, and there's even more absolutely bloody gorgeous stuff coming out from the folks at Piano Wargames. We have covered them as an indie in the past, and honestly, if you're looking for Napoleonic miniatures, I cannot think of anybody else on the market who does stuff as phenomenally good as the folks at Piano Wargames. This is their newest campaign, looking into the other forces that were around during the Napoleonic Wars. Yes, you got your French. Yes, you got your British. Yes, you got your Spanish. But what about the Grand Duchy of Baden? I mean, who hasn't heard of them? I hadn't. But if you are diving in to pick up some Napoleonic stuff from a little fringe, then this is definitely one of those campaigns that you want to dive in and check out. They have now done over 100 new figures for you to use to build the Grand Duchy of Baden on the tabletop. And this includes the Baden line infantry, Jaegers, command sets, cavalry, artillery, and even more than that. And every single one of their miniatures, as with this previous campaign, is available for you to pick up either digitally, so you can print it in different scales, wow, or get it in lovely, lovely metal, the best material. Can't go wrong with metal. Well, you can, but can't go wrong with metal. Yeah. Citation needed. When it comes to the Grand Duchy of Baden, these were a force that fought alongside Napoleon. And even though a lot of people maybe don't necessarily know who they were, they fought against the likes of the Prussians. They fought in Spain, Austria, the Tyrolls, in Russia as well, so the harshest of climates. And they fought all over Europe for Napoleon and gave hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of lives for Napoleon fighting on his side during his campaigns. So if you are looking for a good force to throw into the mix that's a little bit different from the norm, this is definitely for you. When it comes to Napoleonics, obviously, it's a very colourful period, and that comes through in all the stuff we're seeing here from Piano Wargames, and they have gone to the nth degree when it comes to the detail on these figures, and they have also been painted stupidly well. I think it's one of the things that really sells the range, that Piano Wargames have got an amazing painter. I think it's Stefan Huber to do this.
Stefan Huber.
Huber, there you go. I was right. And he's done an amazing job on these miniatures to really bring them to life and show them off. We've seen them Piano Wargames do a whole host of different campaigns over the last little while, maybe last couple of years, I think at this point, and every single one of them has delivered and created a really nice kind of niche within the Napoleonic scene for people to dive into. As I say, one of the key driving forces behind this is that Piano Wargames have tried to create a set of miniatures that are different from the sort of main forces you would have found, and they're all very much inspired by maybe a book or something that Lucas has read, and they've gone, well, why don't we make these all as miniatures? And suddenly 100 plus figures became a reality. How could you say no? It's insane.
that is the thing for this time period. Every single separate army or known unit was so very different from each other, because everybody wanted to be fancy in their own way.
Yes, very true.
Well, you had to figure out whose troops were yours.
Yes.
So that was the main reason of it.
And you didn't want to be outdone, seeing, Lord such and such, his troops look finer than mine. I can't have that.
Exactly. Yeah. And if the banners don't do it, your uniform's got to. I think it's great. So as well as all of the core stuff that was part of the campaign, so the likes of the line infantry, the Jaegers, the command sets, the artillery, blah, 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 they have also unlocked a whole host of stretch goals for this campaign as well. So you've got your casualties, which are going to be good for those people who are building up scenic bases, and also really nice as kind of like characterful markers in games, rather than just using like a chit or a gem or something like that, or a dice. You also have things like your elite company skirmishing units, your Liebgarde Grenadiers, your Garde de Coupe, Yeah, baby, I'm getting that accent right. And also...
Offended the French again.
Of course. And then also a bunch of characters. So you've got the likes of Von Harrant, General Kister, and much more as well. So, as I say, don't necessarily know anything about the Grand Duchy of Baden, but if you're looking at this and being like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They've now made a miniature for General Kister. Yay. There you go. They've done a character for him. And if nothing else, it'll mean that you'll go off to Wikipedia and you'll start researching the characters, because it's exactly what I did when it came to some of the Emperor stuff that came out recently this week. I was like, I want to find out more about this person. And I think that's great. It's one of the nice things about historical wargaming. You go off and you learn stuff. And that's brilliant.
Go do research.
Who needs school? No, actually stay in school, please. But yes. If any of our viewers are under 30, that's great. But there we go. Right. So if you are looking to dive into Napoleonic Wars from a slightly different viewpoint perspective, then make sure to go and check out The Price of Crowns and the Grand Duchy of Baden from the folks at Cannibal Games. They are absolutely gorgeous. Lovely.
I'm just looking at the price and I'm like...
And so John began Napoleonics. But what's quite nice about that is it's such a little self-contained thing, because you just build the Grand Duchy of Baden. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff. Yeah. You just do them. I think that's a great thing.
We chuck some French at it later, but
exactly.
But that forces Shay then to buy the English.
Well, there you go. I mean, Shay's never said no. So Jerry dragged him into all sorts of other things. So
true.
Shay should get revenge and make Jerry do medieval.
You know what? I think Jerry will probably cave if Shay said, "Please, sir, can I have some medieval?" But anyway,
no, right. He would get kicked out a window.
That's actually very true. Yeah, he'd get given all the plastic boxes from the Barons War and be like, "Just do it yourself." Shay bounces. Right, so we have some fun stuff there from the Dwarves, and we also have The Price of Crowns, the Grand Duchy of Baden, which has just 9 days left on that campaign. So if you want to get involved, make sure to go and check that out. On the 3D printing side of things, there's some fun stuff in there for sort of how you can scale things, all that kind of stuff. So don't worry. Go and check that out. So yes, Kickstarter's done. Let's dive back into more news to close out the show.
Even more news, bitches.
Hello, folks. Well, we're back for even more news to make your news glands fill up. That's a thing now. Yep, news glands.
I mean, I know Jerry's not here with the disturbing facts, but no, too far
back. Your skeleton is always wet. I will always remember that. Right.
Gland.
Anyway.
Gland is a truly disgusting word.
Your moist glands. There we go. Diving back into the news and away from this horror, John, Victrix have got some awesome Arthurian stuff.
They are doing big bundly things.
Ooh,
once I get the screen up, there we go. Yeah. I like the big bundles. They are doing a whole ton of stuff, which I haven't read. So we're doing... me and the audience have this thing that we know John hasn't researched anything before he started recording.
This is fine. I don't write like these. I put so much effort in.
You don't do this for me. You do this for the people that actually like to read.
And the people that matter. We don't matter. They do.
So we have a late Roman warband, which has a whole ton of stuff in here. So there's sprues aplenty. There they are.
Right, so inside the set, you've got enough to make 34 miniatures for your late Romans. You have your armored infantry, your infantry command, your heavy cavalry riders, plus all your horses, your archers and slingers, and then an additional set of late Romans head sprues as well. So it's very much nailed on for doing sort of Arthurian stuff on the tabletop, which is quite nice, and any of your late Roman associated bits and pieces. So you're defending the Roman Empire from the west or the east or the north or the south, everywhere. They got attacked from everywhere. Then you've got lots of different ways for you to dive in and build up your forces here. There's enough in that set with 34 models in there for you to be doing a skirmishing warband that includes all of your characters as well. With the infantry command stuff and what you get on the cavalry side of things, you could very easily build Arturo or Arthur and his knights and things and use them on the tabletop, which I think is quite nice. You've even got some very nice shield designs and stuff in there. That would be very good for doing sort of fringe stuff from the late Roman period too. You could even use them for sort of turning into different forces that would have been fighting at the time as well. So your Goths and things like that too. So lots of different options on that front.
There's one piece of terrain I would love to see someone make.
A stone with a sword in it?
No,
Oh.
the communal bog.
A communal bog. Wow. Sarissa? Communal bog?
We're talking about miniatures. We're not talking about terrain.
The apathy of his mini rage is beautiful.
Oh,
What?
dear. It's an effective form of government, getting things from bogs.
Why is
Right.
2 + 2 6 with you?
Because I like throwing conversational hand grenades that are generally duds.
There we go. As well as the
Early
late Romans,
Saxons, then.
yes. So as well as the late Romans, you also have the early Saxon side of things, which is an equally large plastic set. So this one comes with 36 miniatures in there, and within this you get your early Saxon armoured and unarmoured infantry, as well as your late Roman archers and Dark Age archer sprues too. So you've got lots of different ways for you to build up your forces. There's even a set of the late Roman heads in there as well, because of course some of the early Saxons would have stolen bits and pieces and all that kind of thing, and you would have had people sort of changing sides and all that kind of thing with building up your early Saxons. Again, obviously very nailed on for doing all of the stuff that you'd be looking at for sort of Arthurian legend stuff. So if you wanted to replicate the movie of Clive Owen, then you can do. Oh man, that bit on the ice where he smashes it. Oh, that's so good. It's almost as if he's an amazing actor, and he should be celebrated. R.I.P. But anyway, 13. Anyway, lots of fun stuff there for you to dive into on that front when it comes to the early Saxon side of things. You can obviously use this for making all things like your jutes and all that kind of stuff too. Very sort of fitting for Beowulfy style stuff too, because obviously you've got that kind of helmet design and things in there as well. So if you wanted to have these guys fighting in a great hall against a mysterious beastie, then you can have that as well, which would be quite nice. So yes, lots of stuff for those people who wanted to go down the fantastical or the historical route when it comes to the Arthurian-y historical side of things, covering the 4th to 6th centuries in that front, which is very nice. So yes,
One
lovely.
thing that I do like for that set,
Yes.
they haven't been lazy. Whenever it comes to some of the weapon designs, they have actually done different weapon designs. I mean, the obvious one is the bows.
Yes.
You've got the regular ones, and then you've got the nice recurve ones.
Mhm.
So that's going to add more flavor to the set.
Yeah, it really does. And as with all the stuff from Victrix, they're dynamic and interesting poses as well. So there's lots of different things in there for making your skirmish
Actually
warbands
have arrows
look.
on the bows.
Yes. Next, you'll be attaching the strings to the bows like a crazy person. But
That's awfully close to rigging. So let's not talk about
It is
Yeah.
awfully close to it.
it.
On that note, I was watching a sculptor. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Sean Sutter, possibly. He said that he was sculpting away and he was watching YouTube videos of people doing historically accurate rigged ships models from that century. And he said it was insane because they were taking, like, not necessarily toys, but sort of display pieces and going, this is wrong. The rigging should go here, and actually fully rigging out the ships and stuff. It's insane. But there we go. So
That just sounds like something that would make me want to just give up.
yep. But, you know, some people are crazy. There we go.
I once rigged a 1/250 or 1/300th model of Titanic.
Oh,
Mm.
you do love
And
the
there's-
Titanic.
There's not a lot of rigging on that kind of a ship.
Is most of it bunting?
By the time I did the funnels, I was like, I've had enough.
Fair enough.
I've had enough. And they made it very easy to do because one rope would go in one side of it, across it, and then out the other to do the corresponding. And I was like,
That's
even
great.
after that, I was done. I was like, no.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
sit
the
there going,
grass.
I'm not having fun.
In the
I
grand
was
scheme
also
of-
12, so
yeah, there you go. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, it sank anyway, so oh well. Doesn't matter if the rigging's underwater, does it? There we go. So, guy hitting that propeller.
anyway.
Very funny. Right, so yes, moving away from Arthurian stuff, we're going to be looking at some more fantasy things. To round out the show, we have a few bits and pieces to dive into. First off, we had a second wave of releases for the favourite of mine, which is Guards of Traitor's Toll. Grey for Now are back with even more wonderful miniatures for this, thanks to Graham Davey, who's done some really nice new resin bits and pieces for this. You have a couple of different sets to dive into. The first of these is the Guard House Heroes. So if you're looking to dive into the game in a similar style to sort of Mordheim and things like that, you have some new Dramatis Personae. God, I love that phrase, to throw into your games, with some really fun characters that'll sort of add a little bit of narrative to your scenarios on the tabletop. You have the likes of Captain Bellow there, who charges into the fray with mace at the ready. You have Sergeant Crustin there, who's going to be riding down the cobbled streets, chasing away criminals and all sorts of different things like that, which I think is very fun. Some very gallant heroes. And then if you're looking to be a little bit sneaky and a little bit brutal, you also have Pericule, the Gnome Guard, and Lug, the Ogre Guard as well. So if you want to sleuth around and uncover all of the sneaky shenanigans going on, you've got them. And then also, when things go bad, just unleash Lug, and he'll beat your prisoner senseless as well. So good stuff on that front, which is cool. You also have a bunch of cards in that set as well. So there's lots of ways for you to expand and enhance your existing guards of Traitor's Toll, with lots of fun traits and special abilities and all sorts of things. They've even added in some fun, like, special weapons and items that you might have confiscated that you then break out of that locked chest to help you deal with the shenanigans on the street. So you got things like flaming swords, a scroll of ice storm, and all that kind of thing. So stuff that you've taken off a wizard and gone, no, bad. And then you've gone, right, quick, open the box. To kind of, yes, sort of like a
wizard. Didn't we confiscate a flaming sword last week?
Exactly, yes. It's a break in case of danger kind of situation.
Check the charcoal box. It's definitely in that one.
Yes. And that might be quite handy, because on the other side of things, we also have the Sinister Citizens, that's hard to say, box set, which comes with a whole host of new miniatures. So these are people that you might wander into as you're sort of patrolling the streets of Traitor's Toll. You have the Clumsy Apprentice, who, when he drops his spellbooks, all the spells go loose and start causing havoc. You have the Little Lost Child, who's definitely not creepy at all. Not holding a dagger underneath that shawl.
She's definitely not a portal to the weird universe.
Oh God, yes.
She opens her eyes and all of a sudden you're over there now.
Yeah, there's a teddy bear about to eat your face.
I mean, I'm just going to say it, that pie might be people.
I think it might be, yes. So you've got Polly the Pie Maker, who's definitely put people in her pies. You have the Pale Handsome Stranger, who's a pain in the neck. Very good. And then Kyan the Assassin as well, who looks very cool, sneaking around on the rooftops, about to shank somebody. And then last but not least, the Spectral Soldier, who might add a little bit of a somber note to your scenario, which looks quite cool. But another set of wonderful characters.
The whole thing is figuring out who the bad people are.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a couple of these where it's just like, no, that's the bad guy. This is not profiling, that's the bad guy.
But it was her.
Yeah, it was always her. Sweetie Todd. Yes, some very nice stuff there on that front. So yes, a whole host of new things for you to dive into with that set. This also comes with all the cards to deal with them, but you also have a set of additional cards which will come up with strange and interesting scenarios that you run into on the tabletop. There's even apparently a spell in there for a random citizen who just happens to be able to summon swarms of wasps. Because why not? So
that's a
you have mildly inconvenienced me. What's
exactly, yes. There's also that set of the new recruits as well. So for anyone who hasn't dived into Guard of Traitor's Toll before, the plastic sets that they did alongside Wargames Atlantic contain a lot of human guards, but this set allows you to throw in both a dwarf and a halfling as well. So you got some options on that front. Also, there's a new attack dog figure as well, so you can unleash them on the tabletop and hunt down and smell out some nasty, nefarious criminals as you're going about.
Clearly, they're walking past the butchers. That's lunging for a sausage.
Oh yeah, has been lured in by Polly's pies. And then, last but not least, we also have this hardback rulebook. So this contains all of the updated and errated and clarified rules that have been sort of curated by the folks at Grey for Now Games and, of course, the community as well. In addition to containing all of the sort of up-to-date rules, which you can still find online, by the way, so there's no reason for you to have to buy this, by the way. There's also a bunch of additional pages. I think it's 32 extra pages in the book covering development and work in progress stuff from the design of the game, which I think is really nice, from Graham, plus a bunch of short stories, including one by Graham McNeil, who a lot of people will know from obviously Warhammer fame and writing stuff for the Horus Heresy and things like that, which is very cool. So lots of stuff on that front. If you want to get all of this in one place, there is also a bundle deal. So if you want to get your hands on that, you can do. And just get everything all in one, just sent to your house, like a big, fun Christmas package early.
The book is so pretty.
It is very nice.
That whole art style is just so nice.
Yeah, and it's reminded me that I really need to actually dive in and, get my starter set painted up and actually buy some of the terrain and stuff and play this game, because it's lovely. So it's brilliant. And I'm just going to do Discord with it. I said it. I'm just going to do Discord with it.
I mean, I've had a read through the rules, and the mechanics of this game are just fun.
I love that.
Because
I love that. Yeah.
It's not just. Sorry, hang on. Sorry, my cat was having a moment.
It's not just
the mechanics of the game are fun, because it's not just the boring, draw this card, it's this random thing.
Yeah.
It's you're working through it, and if you screw it up, you are going to pay the price for it.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. It's right. One of the things I said in the article, actually, it's really nice to have a game out there where it's just fun and quirky. There's lots of very serious games out there on the market that make you play very seriously, and I like that this is very much a fun, quirky experience for you to play on the tabletop, and we need more of that, I think, because it makes better opponents. So there we go. Very nice stuff there from Grey for Now Games. Capping things off, we have a little bit of a fantasy teaser. Ooh, I tease you so. And this one comes from the folks at Firelock Games. And I was alerted to this by Discord Miniatures and one of their videos where they randomly showed up a picture of Jerry. You'll have to watch to find out why. But this is a new game coming from the folks at Firelock Games, and this is Brigands of Arja. And the idea behind this is that they are finally stepping into the realm of fantasy goodness with a game of mythological beasts and barbarians on the island of Arja itself. This is a full-on classic sword and sorcery style affair. So if you are a fan of the things like the Ray Harryhausen movies and all their monsters and things like that, if you like things like Beastmaster, Hawk the Slayer, Conan, all that kind of vibe, this is very much nailed on for you. It's got that kind of 70s, 80s feel to everything, which is really cool. The game itself has been designed so you can do quick campaigns, and that is at the sort of nub of all of this, really. So it's a 1 to 4 player game, so you can also play it cooperatively, solo, or competitively, as you might imagine. You only need, at the bare minimum, 3 miniatures for your warband, which I think is great. You can also go all the way up to 6 if you want to make a full sort of more sort of evened out warband rather than a set of elite warriors. And the whole process of the game is that you're diving in to sort of battle it out for loot and glory and things on the island of Arja, facing off against different opponent warbands, as well as big mythical beasties like the things like the Serpent and the Cyclops and things that you can see there, which I think is really cool. In a similar style to things like Frostgrave and stuff, there are sort of wandering monsters that you'll come across as you're sort of pilfering for loot and all that kind of thing too, which I think is quite nice. You can obviously see a little bit of the aesthetic of the game here anyway in the design of some of the miniatures that they've done, although of course you could just use miniatures from anywhere if you wanted to. Actually, when it comes to the sort of game mechanics, I have one of the early looks at the rulebook. You're not allowed to see it, but I can. It's right here. And the game itself is based off a D10 system. In general, when you're making a sort of standard test, you'll be rolling a set of D10 and you're just essentially looking for 6s to pass all of your regular tests. So searching for things and that kind of thing. When you're diving into your sort of opposed tests, so when you're fighting or shooting, you'll roll against the opponent's stats. You'll roll a pool of D10s, and essentially you're looking for the highest dice in that pool. So if you roll a 10 and the other person only rolls an 8 as their highest dice, you've essentially won the combat. But because of your growing pool of dice, that means that the more skilled you are in something, the more chances you have to roll that highest set, and you'll pair dice off until somebody is a winner. If you ever have a full set of pairs, you just roll again because it's kind of like a tight scale, which is quite cool. But it's very quick, very easy, designed to be very fun for you to dive into and play your games in under an hour. It only plays out on a 2x2 space on the tabletop, which I think is really cool too. So it's very tight skirmishes. As I say, they have sort of gone down the idea of you can play a campaign in a day. And that's because what they've done, because games can sort of be resolved in under an hour, you could set up, start playing a campaign. You only ever have to play at minimum 3 games to have completed your campaign. So you essentially go, we're going to play 3 games against each other. We're all going to play in our group or whatever, or play at a club or something. And at the end of those 3 games, you just tot up the scores for who's got the most infamy and loot and all that kind of thing. And that's your winner. No big long campaigns that stretch out for months that mean that you're never going to come back to it, or somebody becomes impossible to beat because of their sort of like creep that comes into these kind of campaign games. You dive in, you play your 3 games. They're all quick and done. You can do it over a weekend or an evening, and that's it. It's sorted. And I think that's a really great way to approach things, because it means that you could always come back to this, try different ideas, switch up your stats for warbands and play different ways. Because you can play it solo as well. It means you could essentially play out a fun movie experience in the space of an evening, which I think is really cool. You could have one of your sword and sorcery movies on in the background, and you could be playing sword and sorcery on the tabletop, which I think is so awesome. So yes, fun stuff coming for that. As you can see, it's still very much in development. The rules exist. They have been working on them. I can see them right here. Hey, rules.
You're a terrible Tease fan.
But it will be coming to Kickstarter in the very near future, so keep an eye out for that one. If you like the stuff that Firelock's done in the past, this very much fits into their vibe. I can't wait to see what they do with some of the miniatures and things. I love the big creatures they've already created for this. I think that's super cool. But yes, I can imagine there being a very, very fun starter set or something for this game when it comes out. So keep an eye out for Brigands of Arja coming in the very near future. Very cool.
A quintessential beers and pretzel game.
Exactly. Very much so. Yes, you could even use your beer and pretzels as terrain if you wanted. Who knows? My terrain's vanishing. I'm hungry.
Well, no. Yeah, here's the thing:
the Vesperon game, from way back.
Yeah, but I think I've talked to folks before where if your cans of beer or whatever went down on the table, it would act as cover. But if you picked it up for a sip, middle of someone taking a shot, and your miniature was claiming cover, and then it's up and you're drinking, and they take the shot, no cover.
I love that. That sounds great. That's the kind of fun we should have in our lives. There we go. So yes, that is the news for this week. We've capped things off, and that is also the end of the Weekender. Aww. Make sure to do all of those lovely things. I'm sure you're tired of me talking now, but make sure to do all of those lovely things. You like
and
share,
subscribe,
do all that kind of thing. It actually makes a difference now. You might even see something called a hype button pop up. Don't know what it does. Click it and find out. Hype the video. Do it now. I think also if I say like and share and subscribe, things fizzle on the screen as well. So, like, share, subscribe.
No.
Call to actions. So yes, if you want more of us talking absolute twaddle, then of course you could come back and see us next week when we'll have another Weekender on Friday. But if you can't wait to see more twaddle, you can also see us talking on Sunday as part of the Cult of Games XLBS, where you can come and join us as a subscriber or as part of a free trial and hear us waffling on about stuff. I believe Shay is going to join us on Sunday. He's going to be talking about more about his campaign for Team Yankee, and I have more hobby to show off. And of course, we have the Indie of the Week as well. We'll also be joined by Justin, who'll be nattering away and thinking about cats, probably. So, yes.
No. I swear, my cat gets possessed sometimes. I don't know what happens. She will look into a random corner of the room and then just zoom off.
Cats have a direct line to the other side. Like it's lived with cats all my life. I understand that fully.
Yeah. There's clearly a ghost in your room.
Though. She will play fetch with herself.
There we go.
She will literally grab a toy, whip it, and go chasing.
Well, there's something for you to stick in the comments down below. How weird are your pets? So yes, do that and we'll have some fun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and we'll see you next week for more from the Weekender. Bye-bye for now.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.